From Pioneer Field in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, Charter TV 3 presents exclusive coverage of Central Mass High School football. Today, it's a big Division III showdown as the third-ranked Shepherd Hill Rams visit the number one ranked St. John's Pioneers. It's high school football on Charter TV 3. Hello, everyone. Welcome down to the field. Kevin Shea alongside of Andy Lacombe. And Andy, interesting clash of styles we have here today. Shepherd Hill, a pounding, grinding, physical style, and St. John's has got that aerial circus.
Yeah, offensively, about the only two things these teams do in common is they work with pace and tempo, and it could be very fast offensively on both sides of the football. This is a physical matchup. The most physical team may have the edge in this one. Shepherd Hill, it's their trademark. St. John's, they're physical. They want to be even more physical today. Expect some hitting.
Both teams can put points up in bunches as well. Number one St. John's versus number 3 Shepherd Hill. We're back with the opening kickoff right after this.
Bay State Savings Bank brings you
Kasasa. What's Kasasa? It's a catchy word for earning cash that just might make you want to dance. Get paid for doing simple things you do anyway. That's free Kasasa checking.
Ask for Kasasa by name at Bay State Savings Bank, proud sponsor of the Friday Night Football Frenzy.
I'm District Attorney Joe Worley, and I'm proud to partner with Charter Communications with our pledge to help raise awareness that bullying should not be tolerated. From local school students, here is our message.
Delete cyberbullying. Don't write it. Don't forward it. Think twice what you type.
We need to foster safe environments for students in their schools and their communities. Join the anti-bully crusade. Take a stand to lend a hand. Don't be a bully.
Presented by the law offices of Joseph J. Corriglia.
Doors. Every door is different. Every door, unique. And each one tells a story. Open a door at Unibank and you'll find a unique place. A bank where we listen to you and find answers. All to help you write your unique success story. Welcome to the new Unibank. Please, after you. Unibank. Bank different. Bank unique. Member FDIC. Member DIF. Equal housing lender.
Welcome back, everyone. There's Ryan Dugan, the head coach of the Shepherd Hill Rams, longtime assistant, a former quarterback at Shepherd Hill. And he brings his Rams in here today, ranked 3rd in Central Mass.
It's also my pleasure to introduce 4 members.
And he likes his team. They're banged up. 3 of their running backs are out.
Everybody's a little banged up this time of year, and it's fortunate for Dugan that his team can roll out 6 or 7 guys in the backfield, and they've had to expand and go into their depth, and they credit a lot of the work they do in the weight room in the offseason to expand that depth, and they think they're as conditioned and in as good shape as any team that they've had there.
Yeah, and that's saying something too with the great weight room work that they have done for years at Shepherd Hill under Chris Lindstrom, the former head coach, and now under Ryan Dugan, who has carried that tradition on. And there's John Andrioli, great player here at St. John's, went on to star at Holy Cross and then played in the NFL with the Washington Redskins and the New England Patriots, and even played with the Boston Breakers in the USFL. And he's got his team on the top of the mountain again. They are ranked number 1 in Central Mass.
Yeah, and he's got Pioneer Fest going on today, so they're honoring state champions from different sports throughout the years here, and they get to do the honorary coin toss. Taylor Fontaine's out there. I covered him in golf years ago in the mid-2000s. You know, it's one of those guys. He was 18 when I covered him. He's probably 30 now. I can't believe it.
And
so it's a big day. here at Pioneer Fest, and there's a big crowd and a lot of alums here, and the Pioneers will look to show out at home today.
Yeah, you got some big boys on both sides here, both teams. These linemen are tough. They are physical. Both coaches talking about how physical their linemen are, about how tough they expect this game to be. John Andrioli said he was telling his team this is going to be like a fist fight in a phone booth. And that's the way they feel it's going to go. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with the opening kickoff between St. John's and Shepherd Hill right after this.
The Holy Cross football team will return to Fitton Field on October 21st for a pivotal Patriot League contest against the Colgate Raiders.
Each week is a championship game after our final non-conference game against Yale. You certainly take some lessons from your previous games and your experience, and you prepare for the specifics of an opponent, but you recommit yourself each week.
It's Cancer Awareness Day, and $2 of every discounted ticket purchased online with the promotional code KICKCANCER will benefit the St. Vincent Hospital Cancer and Wellness Center. It's also Bobblehead Day, and the first 2,000 fans in attendance will receive a free Khalif Raymond bobblehead doll. To secure your tickets, visit goholycross.com/tickets or call 1-844-GO-CROSS.
Welcome back, everyone. The team's gathering now. The coin toss has been done. We're getting ready after these pregame festivities, getting ready to kick it off in a much anticipated game between two of the top teams in central Massachusetts.
Yeah, I think any team that comes in to play St. John's, it's going to be a big game. It's going to be heavily anticipated. But maybe you didn't think it was going to be Shepherd Hill. Young team, relatively speaking. Lost a couple guys to Division I schools from a year ago, and they're right back here. Credit to their program.
Yeah, they've pretty good train to Division I football in the last 5 years over at Shepherd Hill. Now we'll have the playing of the national anthem. Great job singing the national anthem by the St. John's students, the student choir and glee club. Fantastic, and we're going to get our first look at the teams here.
Yeah, we'll get very little time to waste to see the St. John's offense. They won the toss, they tick the ball. They're going to put that high-powered offense on the field first.
Look at number 5, Eamon Dennis. He has taken a kickoff back for a touchdown in every game but one this year. So we'll see if Shepherd Hill kicks to him. Most teams do not, or they'll kick once to him, he takes it back, and then that's the end of that. Then they'll pooch it.
They'll try to kick away from him, but St. John's has found a way to get him the football, too, on kickoff returns. Directional kicking in high school football is tough. I mean, it's tough in Division I FCS level. We saw it with Holy Cross. They do a really nice job there, but you know, it is a difficult thing to master. And very few kickers, I think, in high school football can really be masters of directional kicking. We'll see how the Rams treat this one.
Just by the way that they're putting the ball on the tee, you'd expect Matt Mulcahy that he's going to squib it. You can see where the ball is. It's not standing straight up and down. You'd expect to squib. Zach Pedoni telling Eamon Dennis, the talented sophomore, move up a little bit. They do. See if they pitch it. Nope, they're going to take it straight where they get it and get it out to about the 40-yard line. Now, most times you'd say, well, you know, you're giving up some field position, but anyone who has seen Eamon Dennis play, you say, you know what, take it, and that's good. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, no question about it. He's got that speed that can just go. Here's Steve Bachalia, and he has been outstanding here in the early going. He completes about 68% of his passes, and
1,500 yards.
he is leading Central Mass in all the categories that count as a quarterback.
And of course, his dad, Steve Bachalia, is a defensive coach here at St. John's, longtime defensive coordinator at Doherty High School. His first pass is complete, and I was telling him before the game, I don't know that I've seen him miss. I think I've seen St. John's twice this year. I think I've seen Steve Bachalia throw maybe 2 incomplete passes. It's incredible, his accuracy. Rolls to his right, fires, and it's complete again. So that up-tempo offense has got a rhythm going right now.
Well, you mentioned he doesn't miss a lot of passes. He's got sure-handed receivers. He hit Coleman Drugach on the first play and Jay Brunel on the second play. The 2 split ends, so to speak. They got 2 dangerous guys in the slot as well in this 4-receiver set for the Pioneers.
A lot of Division I teams, Division II teams looking at Steve Bachalia. Now they hand it off, and Byers is pounding forward. Actually, it's Colin Deso. Deso going forward, and he's close to a first down.
Drugach, Brunel, Shrestha, Padoni, a dangerous group of receivers. You'll see a couple different running backs in there. Neil Nasudi and the boys up front really leading the way. Freddie Ernst and company, they are a veteran group.
Bachalia to throw. Over the middle, it is deflected and incomplete. Off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Mark Cheffers. Bachalia's got that great poise, and he's a leader. He is a leader back there. And a lot of the stuff he does, you can't teach. You know, a lot he learned by growing up around that Doherty program with his dad, being a ball boy, and just watching how the coaches and how the players conducted themselves. Here's Deso, and Deso gets forward for about 4 yards.
Well, they can run really well, St. John's. They are a passing offense, but their running backs, and Peter Oliver's not active, he's hurt earlier in the year. They're all averaging, now the guys that get touches, 5+ yards a carry, and that's a credit to those guys up front.
Nico Karamanakis on the stop, and that was the guy that Ryan Dugan told us this week has to take care of the ground game. Deso again, and tripped up on the side by Cody Adams, and that'll be short of a first down.
Cody Adams, a big physical junior, plays the outside really well. He's a two-way player, and he held his lane, held his ground there, and forced that pitch inside to make a tackle. 4th and 2 for St. John's. Bachalia looking over the defense. Looks to his right, fires. It is complete to Padoni. Padoni's got a first down and more. Makes the man miss. Foot race to the end zone. Touchdown, St. John's. Bachalia to Padoni. Yeah, and credit Jay Brunel on the outside, springing him with the block. Padoni had first down yardage, looked upfield. He had his guy a step or two on him, but it was Brunel who made the block on the outside to spring him.
And now St. John's will attempt the point after. Palermo will attempt the point after. They call him Slapshot. He's a hockey player, first year playing football. Never played before this year. It is up and it is just wide left.
I think the timing was a little bit off there as Palermo came into the kick before the snap came through. Here's the look. Quick hitter to the outside. Padoni's open. He eludes that tackle, and then Brunel 84 with the block on the outside. No safety home on that side because, you know, St. John's spreads you out so much that that block from Brunel signals his way for the touchdown.
And Johnny Andrioli said Padoni's a lot like Wes Welker, just tough kid, makes those catches in traffic by the linebackers, a great slot receiver. And you see just the vision there, makes one man miss, steps through a tackle, then cuts back, gets that great block from Brunel, whose father played at Doherty and then played at Colgate University. So he's got college football in his blood. He's just a sophomore, but has made a big impact as a part of this offense is just a true sophomore.
Well, if you're St. John's, you get the ball first, you do exactly what you want to do. You go down the field, you do it in St. John's fashion, moving the ball all over, spreading out the defense, and you finish it with a touchdown.
Now Palermo will kick it off. Watch him after he kicks off, because he's gotten the hit of the week a couple times. He runs down and loves to bury people on the kicks. And Shepherd Hill is out to the 30-yard line. Driven backwards, Gabe Dos Santos, the sophomore, back there for the Rams.
Nice job from Matthew Carino making the stop there. Firing the runner back. Now, this Shepherd Hill offense, they can bring a lot of different guys at you, but Mick Sullivan makes it go. The senior signal caller, 5 of his 9 completions have gone for touchdowns. They're not going to throw a lot, but they feature a lot of guys back there.
He's a leader for him, no doubt. John Foley, junior running back, gets the carry on first down. And again, this is a new wrinkle this year, is the no-huddle, hurry-up offense with the double wing. Not normally what you see with the double wing. But it puts a little bit more pressure on the defense. Sullivan is the lead blocker. He'll do anything for this team. Cody Adams on the carry. Adams gets forward, and now it's 3rd down and 4, and we've got a timeout.
What the pace of the double wing does is Shepherd Hill isn't substituting guys. They really have to run, the opposing teams really have to run guys in and out of there and make sure they're set. Up front for the Hill, Cam Murphy and Dom Batista, the leaders, the seniors up front there. Ryan Fenton's done a nice job moving from tight end inside. And in the backfield, you'll see a lot of different guys. And their tight ends, Grzeski and Martin Jaffe, will be a big part of the blocking schemes up front.
We may see Mick Sullivan throw here on 3rd down and 5. They need to get to the 40-yard line. As you mentioned, Sullivan, a very capable throwing quarterback. He's a great pitcher on the baseball team. They go with a double handoff. It's a fumble.
I think they got St. John's to jump, and
And
then
another
out late flag.
Yeah, oh, and 2 more. Freddie King will not take the chatter. He will not have these guys talking back and forth. He will control the game. And he is letting those guys know about it right now.
Freddie is authoritative.
Yeah, he's not going to have the kids any of that nonsense. He's not going to have that back and forth stuff.
We'll see if it's an offsetting penalty and then an offsides. See how this works out.
Just the 5 yards for offsides would be a 1st down. But now if it's just one personal foul and they're not offsetting, the personal fouls would take precedence. Especially if it's dead ball, it would be
and you can
a moot point anyway.
You can see Isaiah Keegan saying his guys are going backwards. The defensive side of St. John's, we'll see. Freddie's mic'd up, so he'll get it sorted out for us.
Play. We have a live ball.
After he talks to Johnny
offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty will result in the 1st down. We have a dead ball, personal foul on the offense. We have a dead ball, personal foul on the defense. Those offset, 1st and 10.
Okay.
So the 5-yard penalty works out as the 1st down.
Yep.
They did get the Pioneers to jump. Mick Sullivan had the hard count going. A good pitcher, good shortstop. You know, you got to have an arm to be able to play those positions. That's why I played second base. And, you know, so he can certainly throw the football. They just don't do it much. And they weren't doing it there on 3rd down in medium distance. I think it's, you know, again, you're not going to see the punter a lot if they can help it.
And
ball's out
loose
again.
Football.
Shepherd Hill recovered it.
And they actually gained a couple yards.
Pioneers land some hits out there. Hunter Gorgas on the outside, really tough. You'll see a number of defensive tackles, including Kelly Burton and Downing up front. A lot of different guys, but those St. John's defenders, they work a lot of different guys in there. Gorgas and Dom Imperato are the ends. They're battling in there right now.
Yeah, and that's what the coaches were talking about. This is going to be a fight. It's going to be a physical game. And that's what you're seeing up front right now. St. John's has gone with,
Here it
now they
is.
go with a heavy package. They've gone with a lighter interior defensive line, but they go the heavy package here, and they make the stop, and they drive the Rams backwards. Keegan was the first man through, I think, for St. John's.
They went with pace there, but the Pioneers were able to get a couple defensive linemen in fresh right before the snap, and they got a good surge on that Shepherd Hill offensive line to make the stop. They're ready for the no huddle, St. John's. John Andrioli told us they were going to work 4 or 5 different defensive tackles through. They're going to move a lot of their offensive line in and out of the defensive side to give everybody a little bit of a break against this pounding offense of Shepherd Hill.
And they have some big boys. St. John's has some real big guys on the offensive line. Most of them just play offense. Here's Eamon Dennis. This play worked really well against Shrewsbury a week ago. Dennis is a first down and more. Dennis, look out! He will coast into the end zone. Eamon Dennis running through the wash, breaking tackles, and then simply breaking away.
Man, it was blocked up beautifully on the outside, but Eamon Dennis bounced off a hit or 2 on that far sideline and then showed the speed.
And he's just a sophomore.
And this is what can happen. I mean, the steamroller can come. You can be a really good team on the far sideline, but you could run right into the buzzsaw, and it could get away from you unless Shepherd Hill gets it going here on their next offensive possession.
St. John's will go for 2. They missed the first PAT, so Pachalia from the shotgun. He's got Drugach to the far side. Brunel and Shreppa. He pitches it. Padoni into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Got a great block on the edge from Josh Shreppa. Padoni gets the 2-point conversion, and St. John's has a 14-0 lead.
Well, John Andrioli knows his team pretty well, right? He talked about his receivers being sure-handed, but being blockers downfield. Let's take a look at the touchdown first. Look at the surge. Nasuti leading on the outside, but I want you to look at the bounce off. Where is Federico Ernst? He's the guy right there, 20 yards downfield, finishing off a block that sprung him. The last guy that could have gotten to Dennis. 72, getting downfield. Right now he's just looking for a guy to hit. Dennis is going to bounce off a tackle there. That's a sophomore in Cooper that tried to make a play on him, and then Ernst is down there pancaking a guy 20 yards downfield. This is an athletic group up front.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike Padoni is the running backs coach, and he said, I told these guys, I told Dennis and Peter Oliver and Byers and all these guys, I will coach you to the line of scrimmage. From then on, it's God's work. He goes, because these kids are so talented, they have so much God-given ability. Because I've never seen anyone with speed like Eamon Dennis. He goes, and I still have not seen him in a game hit full speed.
All right, defensively, up front, Hunter Gorgas and Dom Imparato on the outside. You'll see Burton, Kelly, Downing. You'll see that rest of the offensive line work in. Liam Dorn, Isaiah Keegan, the leaders of that defense and the linebacking core for St. John's. And they're in a tight package now. Del Bracco's a physical cornerback.
And this time it's a slip in the backfield, John Foley, and they'll mark him down when the knee touched the ground.
Now listen, Shepherd Hill was down 14-0 against Wachusett, came back to win the game. They've been in positions like this before.
Well, and their mantra is, don't look at the scoreboard, just keep playing. Just keep playing. And
Count
that's
the score at the end of the
Ryan
game.
Dugan said to us. He said, you know, we could have looked at the scoreboard at Wachusett and said, we're down 14. Let's change what we're doing. Let's panic. He said, no, keep playing. Keep playing the game. Don't change anything. We're not going to panic. We're not going to change what we came in here to do. And then at the end, we'll see where it all shakes out. Here's that double handoff, and it's a fumble. Loose ball. St. John's has recovered it. And the Pioneers come up with the first turnover of the ball game.
Yeah, there's no cause for panic for sure, but I think their timing is just a little bit off. There's just a little bit of a rush or a press. Guys pressing a little bit in that backfield, just not cleanly executing the handoffs. And the Pioneers recover the football. Joe Katinas looks like recovers, number 31 in there. And St. John's as good as they could have hoped for a start here at home.
Yeah, and some of that can be nerves too. When you're playing and it's a huge game and you know there's all this hype and you get wound up and you start doing things a little quicker, more quickly than you would during practice or other games. Here's Gorgas. And they hit the tight end for a quick hitter.
All right, defensively for Shepherd Hill, Orlando Loggins is the key player up front. The brothers, the Karamanakis brothers in the middle. Anthony Orienti, the sophomore, in the middle of that defense with Caden Kunkel, a senior.
Pachalia mixing it around with his receivers, hits Sretha. And a nice tackle on the far side, but it will be another St. John's first down. And they each play, it's something new for the defense to look at and to think at. You just can't pick up a tendency.
Yeah, and Shrestha's been hurt, and they got him back, and he's another weapon. And just like the Rams, the Pioneers have battled injuries in the year.
Here's Pachalia with time. Now he's pressured, rolls to his left, keeps the play alive, and fires incomplete, almost hooking up with Sheffers downfield. And there you see that poise that Pachalia has. He waits, and then he can run it too. He's got 3 rushing touchdowns this season. He certainly can run the football, and you see his mobility there.
An athletic quarterback who, from the start of last season to now, is a different football player. He is getting better every single week, exponentially.
Yeah, and he's strong. Really physically strong kid. Diso gets the carry. John Andrioli talked about the leg strength and how he uses his legs to drive the football. He's a kid that has worked real hard in the weight room. Plays on the basketball team too, varsity basketball player. Great athlete. 3rd down and 6 for St. John's on the 16-yard line. Pioneers with a 14-0 lead. 4:45 to play in the first quarter. Hand it off to Dennis. And Dennis gets close. It'll be decision time. Probably see them go for it here.
Nice job by Caden Kunkel on the inside to limit that gain. Make it a 4th and 4 here coming up. Shepherd Hill misses a guy like Zach Magnus in situations like this. He's a little dinged up this week as well.
Colin Diso stands in the backfield now. Pachalia changing the play. We talked about the football IQ. Steve Pachalia can change plays. He gets the defense to jump, so it'll be a first down. And that's just, again, that's that football IQ going on a hard count. And that's something that he's telling his line and telling his team, listen, don't flinch. We're going to go with a hard count here. But you got to have that discipline. Not every team can do that.
Freddie's wearing the mic. He just didn't turn it on. He's you know, this is a big game.
We'll get him at a timeout. We'll send someone out there.
Big game. Freddie's he's geeked up for this one too. This is what he goes out for. You know. That's why he's always in these big game situations. He's a big time official out here.
Legacy too. His father, former athletic director in the inner high. Here's Diso, pounding it close to the goal line. He gets inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. That offensive line is a lot of Division I guys on that offensive line. Nasuti, one of them, getting looked at by Patriot League schools and Ivy League schools in Villanova, UMass. Here's Diso again. Diso cuts it back to the land of 6. 20-0 St. John's. The Pioneers strike for their 3rd touchdown of the quarter.
Great piece of running by Diso. That cut back, the line was flowing left, and they had it blocked up. Diso cut back, made a guy miss, and went in. And then he gets the hold for the kick.
And this is what we've talked about. You know, they're almost like a Swiss Army knife. There's so many different ways that St. John's can beat you. You can't focus on 1 or 2 things, whether it's the running game, the passing game, or these 2 receivers. It's incredible. Palermo, the straight-on kick, is up and through. 3:29 to play here in the opening quarter. 21-0 St. John's. The Pioneers capitalizing on the turnover, and they turn it into a touchdown.
Watch the right side of the line here. They close everything down. Ernst with a block on the side. Stolberg's a big fella on that side. He seals everybody in and cuts it back through. Diso, nice cut. Recognizing the flow here and able to cut back inside of a tackle and go into the end zone. That's a 280 average line, 280 pounds on average across, and Stolberg's a 300-pounder on that right tackle position, and he just closes it out. Those guys are having a nice game. Neil Nasuti, Federico Ernst, Ian Shade, Liam Daly, the center, and Andrew Stolberg.
Some earth movers, road gravers, road pavers, road graders. Chris Moriarty, the offensive coordinator, said, we want to feed off of the emotion of our offensive line. We want to feed off of their emotion, and that's what they did right there. Fed off the emotion and the blocking and the leg drive of those O linemen. Now, knee on the ground, and this is just one of those things that, again, there's some young players, a lot of young players in there for Shepherd Hill. This is a team that, as you mentioned, graduated so many players from last year's team, so many starters. Had a lot of sophomores in there this year, a lot of guys. And they've played in big games. They played Shrewsbury, they played Wachusett, but this is a bigger game. You're playing the #1 team in Central Mass. You're number 3. You're on TV. Things just kind of speed up a little bit. They just need to get their legs under them. That's where you get those leaders, those senior leaders, like Mick Sullivan and a couple of those linemen come into play.
And it's a good play call to start things because you just go quickly back. Joe Oriente, you get a senior in there. One of those 6 or 7 runners that can go back there.
They just go now, it's just power running. This time it's Kobe Jean-Guillaume. His older brother, Drew Jean-Guillaume, a Division I football player, was a phenomenal player at Shepherd Hill. And he's been having some big weeks at the collegiate level. Drew Jean-Guillaume. As time, the fullback gets it on 3rd down. And he's stacked up after a short gain. It'll be 4th down and about 1, and we'd expect them to go for it in this area of the field. Ryan Dugan said we're going to go for it in these situations. This is like the straight wedge here.
I don't know if they got it.
No. I think he's short. Certainly where the side judges are coming in, he's short.
Pioneer surge. Keegan was down in there and at the bottom of the pile, and they hold. Ben Burton was down in there, and they got a surge in there. Look, Shepherd Hill, top 2 running backs, account for about 1,260 offensive yards, 10 touchdowns, and they're not available today. Magnus is one of those big runners, and they just could not get past the St. John's wall. Magnus and Ben Carpenter, the first 5-6 weeks of the season, almost 1,300 yards rushing, 10 touchdowns. They're not in the game. And right now, Shepherd Hill needs to find an answer. High school football on Chart TV3 is presented by Bay State Savings Bank, by the law offices of Joseph J. Cariglia, by Worcester State University, by the Worcester Railers Hockey Club, and Unibank. Bill Faracco in the middle of the screen there. He's the offensive line coach, and it's his guys that paved the way for this offense. And John Andrioli said to us this week what a wonderful job he does with the offensive line, and he's got a staff here of, I don't know, 20 guys or so, but he's got a big staff, and everybody's got a role, just like every player has a role on the St. John's team. And how many times did he talk to us about the scout guys, the guys that gave us a good look this week against this double wing? Everybody has a role. Everybody understands that role. And when that happens, good things happen. And good things are happening for the St. John's Pioneers.
When you got 26 seniors, too, you have some seniors on the scout team that are going to really push. It's different than having sophomores on the scout team that are going to be outmanned. When you have seniors and juniors on your scout team, you're going to get a much better look because you have guys that are pushing and they're competing for playing time as well. Pachelia to throw, pump fake, sets up the screen. Deso's got a lot of blockers in front of him. Deso's inside the 10 and has got a touchdown. Deso in for the score, a perfectly executed screen pass.
And they show you something new on the first play, and 3 offensive linemen led by Ian Shade and Liam Daly, the center, got out in front and had the big blocks downfield.
That's a great play call. You go, you're throwing deep, you're throwing out to the sides, and you run a middle screen.
Did you ever hold for a kick?
I did.
As a quarterback?
Yeah.
Now, did you ever have to run 30 yards and then come back and hold and compose yourself?
No, I didn't. I was certainly not fast enough that I was going to outrun anyone for 30 yards.
That one just misses there, but 27-0 St. John's, and the Pioneers have it rolling. And
yeah, they do.
You know, here's the look at the touchdown. Of course, it's set up beautifully, and there's the big fellas downfield. Ernst kind of loses his balance, but the center, Daly, picks him up downfield, and Ian Shade as well, and Diso does the rest to the outside. And again, everybody, it's the linemen, it's the receivers downfield that are blocking. And, you know, 27-0 early in this game. Shepherd Hill is joining a company of teams like Springfield Central. They're joining some good teams, really good football teams.
Catholic Memorial.
That have been put in deep deficit very early in football games against this St. John's team.
And what's amazing is, you know, we talk about the teams being banged up, is this is going on without some key guys. Peter Oliver's a Division I running back committed to Harvard, and you're doing it without a Division I running back who ran a sub 4.40. They had at the beginning of the year between Dennis and Oliver, they had two kids that ran 40 times in the 4.3s. 4.37 is what they had clocked Iman Dennis at, and Peter Oliver was sub 4.40. And they were saying that we've got to be the only high school football team in the state to have two guys running a sub 4.40.
All right, so for Coach Dugan's team on the other side, they run running back by committee. Even with those guys down, it's next man up, and he's looking for the hot back.
Yep.
They need a guy to get hot, and he goes, our guys get hot, and we'll feed them.
Here's Anthony Orienti, the fullback, and he gets fed and gets forward for 6 yards. So that's a good pickup on 6 yards. Ryan Dugan blasted his team on the far side. This is, you mentioned, it's a young team. Look at him go here. One of the players lost his helmet, so that's why they were waiting for someone to come back on.
You know, when they go this quickly and they go this fast, and I saw this earlier in the year with Shepherd Hill, they have to wait for the referee to blow the whistle and reset play. And sometimes you're just going. You don't hear that whistle, or you don't wait for that whistle. And that was the case here as they tried to get a player off.
Freddie King is explaining that to the coaching staff at St. John's. Oh, okay. I think Tony Hawk Gannon's down there. Is that Hawk?
That does look like Hawk.
Looks like the profile of Hawk Gannon. One of Clinton's finest. Longtime football coach, basketball coach at Clinton. One of the great guys in all of sports.
He's on the St. John's side of the field here.
Well, that's the guy to have, because if a guy's going to get an earful, Hawk can diffuse things and get people laughing in no time.
Oh, yeah, no question.
Second down, the handoff, and Sullivan was dropped as he handed the ball off. That was a nice job by Mick Sullivan just to complete the handoff.
I'll tell you what, Isaiah Keegan is in on every stop in the middle of the field. In between the tackles, he's there.
These linebackers do a great job, and some of that credit goes to the D linemen because they're occupying the offensive linemen, and these two inside linebackers can run free to the ball. They don't have guards and tackles coming out at them.
Now, Jean Guillaume, just a sophomore, again, young. And, you know, Jean Guillaume was not, I didn't see much of him last week in the second half of that Wachusett game. They were feeding Nathaniel Cooper, who's in the game now, number 8, and a guy they're very high on, but he's just a sophomore. So it's a question of like growing in and getting a little bit bigger and older, because you're a sophomore playing against seniors. You can be very talented, but you're still 2 years behind.
Shepherd Hill calling for the full timeout here as it's 4th down and 2 for the Rams. They need to get out to the 41-yard line for the first down.
High school football on Charter TV 3 is brought to you by the Sullivan Group, the Central Mass Safety Council, Nichols College, and Berterra Nissan of Auburn, among others we'll get to in just a moment.
Cooper and Orienti, the running backs here for Shepherd Hill, facing a 4th and 2 with 44 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Sullivan, the quarterback, under center. It's Cooper. Cooper stuck and driven backwards. He will not get the first down. Phenomenal form tackle right there. The linebacker filling the hole is Liam Doran. He's been offered by Bryant University. What a big stop by Doran.
Big kid. He was right in the center of it, and he just met Cooper coming through and forced him back. You know, he just not a knockout tackle. He wraps up and drives him down. That was a must for Shepherd Hill. They needed that first down, and the Pioneer defense rose to the occasion.
So now St. John's takes over inside of Shepherd Hill territory, just inside the 40-yard line of the Rams.
I think the Hill just has the one first down in that first quarter, and that was on the penalty.
St. John's wanted to get in a good tempo. They've got that tempo going both on offense and defense. Pachalia with a lot of time. Now a flag flies. So this one will come back due to a hold. But you see the great patience again and the poise that Pachalia has. He doesn't panic. Gives the play every chance to develop.
Offense. 72.
Chris Moriarty gives the play to Steve Pachalia.
Did you head over to Pioneer? Did you come through Pioneer Fest, Kevin?
I didn't know. I parked in the parking lot and just came straight through there. But I saw the bounce houses.
Tent and food trucks, and they got some sort of stage over there.
It's a great idea. Now, you know, Shrewsbury did it a week ago with Colonial Way, where they had the food trucks and the bounce houses. I like the way that schools are thinking now. Pachalia fires out, and it is complete to Dennis. They pick up the 10 yards that they lost on the holding. You see the arm strength of Steve Pachalia to make that throw. That's a 30, 35-yard throw on a line.
And it's fortunate for all the defenders involved that Dennis had to go down and make that catch and go to take a knee, so you don't have to try to chase him down. I think we should have Kevin Shea Fest in the charter parking lot. Maybe we can look at that for next week. Shea Fest.
No one would show, but you and I, we'd be cooking hamburgers.
You know what would happen? It would start late.
Yes, that's a fact.
Let's take a break.
27-0.
Hockey is back. Pro Hockey has returned to Worcester. Hit the ice with your Worcester Railers. Mini plans and group tickets are on sale now. Call 508-365-1750 and visit railershc.com. Hockey is back. Worcester! Become a member today for off-the-rails excitement. Providing our customers with the highest level of quality, service, and value. Poochie's Fine Jewelry, 205 West Boylston Street in West Boylston.
Welcome back, everyone. End of the first quarter. Fred King, our official, talking things over with the St. John's offensive line as some of those linemen were lobbying, saying, we didn't hold them. And then I think they're getting explanations from Freddie of what his definition of the hold is. We begin the second quarter, though. It's 27-0 Pioneers, and St. John's has it second down and 12 from the Shepherd Hill 42.
And now they got Sean Fallon in the backfield, a sophomore. Again, the Pioneers are without a couple of running backs.
There's Pachalia to throw. Drives it over the middle, incomplete, but only got a hand on it, couldn't haul it in on a seam route.
You mentioned Peter Oliver, but Dan Byers was hurt. He would be in the game, and he's on his way back. They actually think they might get Oliver back by the end of the year.
That would be something else. His father, Jeff Oliver, longtime strength and conditioning coach, head strength and conditioning coach at Holy Cross. He was a great player at Boston College and played in the NFL as well with the San Francisco 49ers and the Jets.
That's Fallon picking up first down yardage on the screen. They needed 12. They got about 14 or 15.
Very impressive. And a great game call by Chris Moriarty.
Yeah, just let the play kind of develop, bring the defense in, and open up some space for Fallon. And again, the receivers opened up the hole down the field.
Yeah, these receivers are phenomenal blockers. So Bachalia from the shotgun, looks to his left, now to his right. Over the middle, incomplete. Too tall for the intended receiver, Jay Brunel, 6'2" sophomore.
Yeah, he had him open, and almost, you know, Nathaniel Cooper's out there in the safety position. If he's a little bit closer to the inside of the field, he's got a chance to pick that ball off.
2nd and 10, Bachalia. Looks left, fires left, it is complete. Inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Mark Sheffers, the senior wide receiver, hauls it in and picks up a first down.
Nick DiArcangelo's out there defending and, you know, makes a good tackle on after Sheffers makes that catch.
Sheffers moved from Florida. The family moved up here from Florida. He's been a great addition. Here's Bachalia with time over the middle. Touchdown to Hunter Gorgas, the tight end. So a different player entering the end zone for St. John's. 5 touchdowns in 4 different guys.
He had his pick to choose from. Gorgas on one side and Pedoni on the other, both running posts to the center of the end zone. They were both open.
Gorgas,
and that's a big target in Gorgas. Oh. He's a guy that's hard to miss out there.
6'6", 245. He's almost Rob Gronkowski size right now in high school. He was offered by URI over the summer. He's got a host of Division I schools that are courting him.
Oh.
And they go with a fake, and it's broken up. Beautiful job by Shepherd Hill. They went for the 2. They were looking to dump it to Gorgas over the middle, but a nice read by Nick Giancarlo. I've already butchered that one. I know.
And Nick made a DiArcangelo makes the play. And yeah, Gorgas on the score. Now on the left side, there's another guy open, Pedoni, and he drills it in there. Actually, I'm sorry, it may have been Brunel. 84 was open, but 2 guys open on that route and that pattern for a little while. You see Gorgas, he's got the 7 on the helmet and the 88 when he plays the tight end position. He's kind of a mix and match.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now.
He's a guy that you can tell just by looking at him
who he is. Yeah.
No, he's wearing a different
dude.
number today, but you can tell right away that, okay, that's Hunter Gorgas. And he's a guy that starts as a defensive end, and then they move him in at tight end when they need him here and there, but not always there. Here's Cooper to the 20. Cooper straight up the middle takes a wicked stick as he gets out to the 28-yard line.
Now, it'll be interesting to see if at some point, if Shepherd Hill huddles and takes their pace kind of out of it a little bit, because they're not holding the ball, they're not possessing the ball very long in this double wing. Right now, they need some confidence on that offense and to move the football a little bit. And here's a different look right away.
Yep.
2 receivers.
And the shotgun. Mick Sullivan going out of the shotgun. Sullivan straight quarterback draw straight ahead. And he barrels forward over the 30. So they try to spread the defense out a little bit. Hit him straight ahead.
And there you go. They're going to get into a huddle. Run a little bit of game clock here. Let your defense and the guys that are playing both ways kind of settle in a little bit.
Sullivan under center, the more traditional double wing style. They go with that double handoff. The scissors well defended by St. John's. It's going to be a loss of 2 on the play.
Benjamin Burton flying around out there. And now they're going to get right back into the pace.
Third down, trying the sweep. St. John's stringing it out. Cooper trying to turn it upfield, and there's nothing there. Great job.
First time Shepherd Hill's really gone to the outside run, you know, and I think that's a lot to do with the respect of the athleticism and the speed, the team speed St. John's has. Give it a shot. The Pioneers really stringing out.
Jamison Carroll was one of the guys there.
But Doran, look at Liam Doran pursue from the middle, the center of the football field. Takes it right out to the sideline. First time we're going to see the punter here.
Left-footed punter, so it can come off a little differently. Goes in to the sideline and out of bounds.
Buchalia almost received that one on the sideline.
He's still got good hands.
He was the closest one to it. Grzeski, who plays tight end, looked a little kind of dinged up there.
St. John's offense will come back out.
They don't want to kick. There's no question about it. And what Coach Dugan told us is if we punt more than twice, we don't win the game. And they're down 33-0 early in this one. Still a lot of football left, but you know, it's one of those things. See if you can win the quarter, see if you can win the third, see if you can gather a little bit of momentum, because these two teams could very well meet in a couple of weeks in the playoffs.
Buchalia to throw. Over the middle, complete. Struss has got it. He's across midfield, makes a couple men miss, runs through another tackle, and he will go the distance. 51 yards on the touchdown strike. Buchalia to Shrutha.
Wow. St. John's almost feels like is like they're playing on a 50-yard field. They're getting short fields because of their defense, but they're making one big play after another, and Shrutha just getting healthier, and you can see how dangerous he is. Making a couple men miss.
Slap shots on for the point after. Palermo puts it up and through. The St. John's offense is hitting on all cylinders. 40-0 Pioneers. But look at these wide receivers, how many tackles they break.
Yeah, they get down there and they block, they get in the way, but it's just a great athletic play. Credit to Enrique Caban, the senior defensive lineman, trying to get downfield. Go Holy Cross Athletics also presenting a sponsor today. Here come the rest of them, fast and furious now. Worcester Railers Hockey Club, Poochies. Sorry to those we didn't get to mention. I'm sure we'll get that again later on. Picked up the pace. That was kind of like a no-huddle ad read right there.
That's great. You handled it well.
I think I fumbled. I fumbled the scissors handoff.
You handled it well. Palermo's going to kick it off, and we'll watch him too. Cooper is back deep to receive for Shepherd Hill. Palermo's a big cat. Straight ahead kick. Palermo's looking to hit someone. There goes. Oh, he threw a shoulder in there. That was the hockey hit. That was not a football hit. Palermo threw the shoulder in like he was going to take someone into the boards. Football, you got to wrap the guy
They're
up.
going to get him on that one on film, I think.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get after him on that one.
Good return by Gabe Dos Santos, another one of the talented sophomores for this Shepherd Hill team. They've got the Lindstrom brothers at Boston College, Sean McCune at Michigan, Drew Jean-Guillaume, all these Division I college football players that have come out of Shepherd Hill in the last 4 years. Here's Sullivan to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end that time.
Marauder.
85, known only to family and friends.
Marauder. It's been what the Shepherd Hill rosters looked like from week one. There were number changes against Shrewsbury. The press, we were on the sideline. We were trying to figure out who's who. But
double handoff to Cooper. Cooper gets into the second level and has a first down. First down for the Hill after a 12-yard pickup from Nathaniel Cooper.
Well, Nathaniel Cooper was the best player on the football field second half of last week. He was awesome. As Kevin Mentz is his cousin. Mentz is at UConn now, and Cooper's just a sophomore, and he's got potential to be a big-time player at the next level.
He's a good defensive player too. Had a couple picks against Algonquin. Oriente, the tight end, or the fullback rather, barreling forward. Yeah, and Ryan Dugan telling us that at this point in his career as a sophomore, he's ahead of those other guys that they've had go Division I. And this time, well defended. It'll go for a loss of 3 on the play. That St. John's line just caving things down. Neil Nasuti.
Yeah, they're coming.
Busting through.
They're coming in, and you know the timing's just a little bit off. It looks like for Shepherd Hill, and the size difference up front. I mean, there's a big group of these defensive linemen, and this is one of the bigger groups that this Shepherd Hill team has faced.
Neil Nasuti's dad played at Marlboro. And now Sullivan under pressure, going to tuck it and run. Sullivan's got a first down and more. Across midfield, lowers his shoulder, and delivers a blow at the end of the run. Gets down to the 36-yard line.
Yeah,
Nick Sullivan leading by example.
Love the way you play it here, you know. Sullivan has to go because he's forced out by the defensive end, and then just puts the shoulder down. Good hard-nosed play. And
Cooper.
St. John's comes right back, and Keegan is right there around the ball carrier.
He reads and recognizes so quickly, Isaiah Keegan, and finds the point of attack, and he's right there. Sullivan to throw. Quick hitter going deep and incomplete.
It's a good matchup out there. Cooper's a good athletic guy, but Del Bracco is one big physical cornerback. St. John's likes that kind of match out there.
Who can run too. Del Bracco's 6'3", but he can run. He was running with the Shrewsbury receivers a week ago.
Hey, if you're Shepherd Hill,
step for step.
2 first downs on the ground here in this series. They only had the 1 via penalty first time through.
There's Mick Sullivan. Sullivan, a throwback screen. It's complete. Cody Adams. And Adams with some tough
Got his
running.
helmet ripped off. And that'll be a 15-yarder to add to things.
Cody Adams is a tough player. He's a great basketball player, but man, he has really come alive on the gridiron as well. He's a tough kid.
Nice job on the outside. And number 70 is Cam Murphy, a senior offensive lineman, getting out in front. And a good block there. Look at him stretching out to get the block. And then, man, Cody Adams, that was more than a face mask. That was like a D header.
Yeah, that was Ichabod Crane. They're going to behead you.
Oof.
And Murphy's playing with a broken hand, too. Number 70 for Shepherd Hill. See the big cast on the left hand? Look at that.
You just love the effort. You just love the effort. You're down 40-0. Still in the second quarter. And you just love the
face
effort
mask on the
they
defense.
throw out there.
Half the distance to the end of the run, first down.
Just quit on you out there.
No.
It's too much to play for, and you know, again, playoffs are around the corner, believe it or not. Both these teams, well, St. John's certainly, but both these teams are in, I would say.
Yeah, they are.
I'm not a mathematician, but I leave that to Dugan. He's got the math skills over there.
That's right.
And he thinks they may see each other again in a couple weeks.
There's the handoff. And now you're down inside, just inside the 10-yard line. Pick up of 5 yards. True Guillaume.
That's
Jean Guillaume, Kobe Guillaume. Drew's his older brother.
Ball came out.
Fumble. St. John's has recovered. Wait for the official call.
Ryan Kelly recovered the ball, but they're going to say his forward progress was stopped. Let's see, you know, you get into that scrum, and look at the Pioneers just force it back. And look at Kelly, he just strips the ball, and then he grabs it on the ground there. Good defensive play.
3rd and 4 on the 9-yard line.
Oh, boy.
So you got people moving.
Timing was disrupted there as the snap went off the
Big, little.
man in motion.
Little?
Someone called timeout. I think Shepherd Hill might have called timeout.
Short timeout, Shepherd Hill.
Here's Isaiah Keegan talking things over with John Andrioli on a quick timeout here.
So obviously, as we've mentioned, it's 4-down territory almost all over the field for Shepherd Hill, but certainly here, as the Rams looking at 3rd and 5 from the 9-yard line. Mick Sullivan, former ball boy for the Shepherd Hill team. His father, a former coach here for the Rams, grew up idolizing Shepherd Hill football, wanting to be part of the program, and here he is now as a senior quarterback and leader. Inside handoff.
Nice job. I think he got it.
I think you're right. Good push from that offensive line.
Yeah, Mick's dad is the mad mathematician of the Dudley Charlton School District. I mean, these guys, when he was on the staff, he and Dugan were like breaking down all kinds of different scenarios. And, you know, don't kick a field goal, only go for 2, don't punt.
That's right. Onside kick it every time. Shepherd Hill pushing towards the end zone, throwing backwards. Close. Keegan, one of the guys in there, throwing the ball carrier backwards, and now they'll go with the no huddle. Hurry it up, try to push it in. They're down on the 1-yard line. Sullivan on the quarterback sneak. And
Tough to tell.
This is just a board drill. Pushing, it's hat on hat. Who's going to push who backwards?
Pioneers did
St.
well.
John's defense held.
Those big guys get low. Watch this surge. Keegan just stops everything right at the point of attack, but his guys down low doing a nice job. That's
and
it.
The sophomore Cooper's in for the touchdown. Shepherd Hill's on the board.
Well, it's a good drive, organized and put together by Shepherd Hill. You know, a lot of effort, a lot of hard work on that one, and Cooper goes in for another touchdown.
Good job by the sophomore getting in there. And Shepherd Hill will go for 2. Mick Sullivan brings the play in. Sullivan had the Shepherd Hill helmet stickers on his wall as a little kid. He would put them up behind the drapes in his bedroom. Sullivan from the shotgun, rolls right. Now he's throwing back. They're trying to throw a screen, throwback screen to Christian Grzecki.
High school football on Chart TV. TV3 brought to you by the Sullivan Group, by the Central Mass Safety Council, by Nichols College, Berterra Nissan of Auburn, Holy Cross Athletics, Interstate Battery Center, Milford Federal, the Worcester Railers Hockey Club, and by Poochie's.
They'll get another crack at this 2-point conversion. Christian Grzecki's older brother Sebastian was a great pitcher at Shepherd Hill and played for the Bravehearts.
Yeah, he plays Division I down in Florida. Florida Atlantic, if memory serves.
And Sullivan's going to run it himself. Tough running from Mick Sullivan. He's in for the 2-point conversion. And the senior just charging hard to get into the end zone and complete the 2-point conversion.
Just did get underneath Keegan. Kept his pad level low and got himself in. Good drive for Mick and the boys. And you see some of the dinged up players over there giving him his due. You know, Shepherd Hill again, you know, your chances are you're not coming back in this game, but can you win a drive? Can you win a series? Can you win a quarter? And, you know, give St. John's something to think about on film anyway for, you know, the opportunity if they play again.
Shepherd Hill will squib kick it. Takes a high hop at the 30, 35, and out close to the 40-yard line. St. John's offense will come back out onto the field with a 40-8 lead. Disso's got a couple touchdowns today.
Have we gotten a shot of Pioneer Fest yet? I mean, I don't think we've
No.
got a camera shot of what's
No,
going on.
but it
there.
is
Let's
a
look
good
at this
looking
touchdown.
scene out there.
It's not much to it. It's just get a half a yard and pound your way in. And he followed his quarterback in for the touchdown, did Cooper.
Here's Bachalia. Assumption really likes him and pitches to Disso like a quick option. Disso's got a first down across midfield inside Shepherd Hill territory, but as John Andreoli told us, his head coach, the way he's playing himself into an FCS role. He thinks he could play at that FCS level, and he thinks that those coaches are going to start really taking notice as well.
He does a nice job even on the option to see where that defensive end is. Once he's in, gets the pitch out to Disso for the first down yardage.
Bachalia, you're running a college offense here with all your reads, your pre-snap, post-snap reads over the middle. Beautiful defense from Cooper as he breaks it up. He was matched up with Dennis. Nice job by Cooper. Two sophomores going head-to-head there.
Yeah, maybe in a close game they get him for the hand on the back shoulder, but in this game, it's a good defensive play, no question about it.
There's Nathaniel Cooper. 4 wide receiver set for the Pioneers. Bachalia going deep down the sideline. Beautiful ball. And Drugach hauled it in. Just stepped out of bounds, but a beautiful ball from Bachalia to Coleman Drugach, who has got exceptional hands.
He really does. This is his second grab, and he has to make a hands play on the outside and almost tight ropes the sideline all the way through. It's a great look at it. Stepped out right there.
Flags coming in on this one. Someone moved on the offense.
Well, the offense has to do something wrong for, Chris Moriarty and Bill Farraco and John Andreoli to talk to him about in the week ahead. We were at practice this week, and St. John's is undefeated, and they've been unbelievable, and they're the head of the class right now in Central Mass. But the one thing you heard is, guys, we haven't done anything. It only matters this week, and their preparation week in and week out does not reflect that they're reading their headlines or looking about how good they are.
Hand off to the outside. And in for the touchdown.
And you know what it is? It's a sophomore in Fallon, Sean Fallon. It's guys having to step into the role. So, Peter Oliver's not playing, and other guys aren't playing. Dan Byers isn't in the game, and so you've got sophomores like Fallon or a junior stepping in like Disso, and they have to prove themselves, and they have their role. And so when everybody, again, this idea of you need to have a role in the team, be a part of it. It doesn't seem like anyone considers themselves a star or gets too ahead of themselves. They just know they have to do their job to be successful week in and week out.
Flag is down. The kick is good.
I think Shepherd Hill was offsides.
Yep, so they'll decline it and take the points. And it speaks to what Bob Chesney has said since he got to Assumption is you want to create that competition in practice every day. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are your hardest days, and they want the game days to be easy. They have that kind of competition going on in practice every day at St. John's.
Yeah, and again, that when you've got competition like that going, there's no time to think about how good you are.
No.
Because you need to prove yourself day in and day out, and then come out and prove yourself on the weekend.
Yeah, and when you're a sophomore like Fallon and you start the year, maybe, you start the year, you got 3 other running backs in front of you, so you might be on the scout team, but you're going against that first-team defense, and you have to prove yourself every day against that first-team defense. Then when you get your shot in there to run, you're not in awe of playing at the varsity level because you've been doing it in practice every day.
And how about Fallon and Disso? Again, working with that receiving core that's putting blocks out on the outside, but these guys are averaging 5-6 yards a carry.
Coleman, nice grab. That thing popped up in the air quick, and Cooper grabbed it. He's brought down at the 30-yard line.
Well, St. John's answers. There's still time here, believe it or not, in the first half for Shepherd Hill.
There's Cooper, the sophomore, getting a breather. He's taken some big hits already today here in the first half. But again, this is where that depth comes into play. And Shepherd Hill playing without their top 2 running backs. But they're certainly not going to ask for any pity. As Ryan Dugan says, it's next man up mentality. Don't look back, look forward.
No, and you know, Magnus was in the game a little bit last week, but they played the second half against Wachusett without their top 2 running backs essentially and won the game against a really good team.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is a good young team. They've got some good seniors, but this is a Shepherd Hill team that gets better next year, most likely.
Yeah.
And if they keep that arc that they're on right now with conditioning, and they're built for the future.
Sullivan, quarterback run. Keegan brings him down.
But don't discount what they can do this year either. I'm certainly not doing that. I mean, they were in a game with Shrewsbury in week 1, but they lost by a score.
Yeah, 1 score.
And they beat Wachusett.
And they led at the half in that game against Shrewsbury.
They
led
led
in
at
the
the
second
half. They were up 10-7 at the half against Shrewsbury and lost 14-10. And then they were down at the half against Wachusett. They were down a couple scores in the first half. They were down a couple scores in the second half. They came back and won the game.
Yep.
St. John's is playing on a different level this afternoon, and there were a couple of mistakes early on in the game, fumbles, that really cost Shepherd Hill and allowed the momentum to start steamrolling against them.
Well, you want to play, and you really have to play mistake-free football against St. John's, and that's St. John's' goal as well. St. John's has not had a turnover this year. They've only averaged 1 penalty a game on offense this season. So, you know, as good as they are, they don't get ahead of themselves, and they still do the things that every coach talks about that you need to do in order to win football games. Not turn the ball over and not hurt yourself with penalties. That's disciplined football. Ball security, Mike Pedoni says, I'll talk to all the running backs about that too. Because when you're downfield, I'll talk to you about ball security, but that's it. I'll get you to the line of scrimmage, and it's God-given. He's great. He is outstanding. Mike Pedoni won a Super Bowl when he was a player here at St. John's, went on to play at Boston University, had a great career there, went in as a defensive lineman, and had a couple shoulder surgeries, finished his career as an offensive lineman because his shoulder just wouldn't hold up. It just kept coming out. But that's how tough he was. He said, all right, I'll play offensive line, and he did for Dan Allen at Boston University. Chris McMahon was part of that team, part of that Super Bowl team. He and Mike Pedoni were classmates. Max got the Grafton
a loaded
going
group.
well.
Wasn't it Coach Pedoni when he was on the field when Holy Cross won the Patriot League Championship that our sideline reporter said he had been much maligned?
Yes.
For me.
Yes, that was Dave Bolduck in his own words.
And it was redemption.
Yes.
For the Crusaders that year.
It was.
As they had been much maligned.
Yeah, and they beat Lafayette for the Patriot League Championship.
Like a pocket Jim Gray right there on the sideline.
He is like a pocket Jim Gray, you're right. Yeah, Mike Foley was a lineman on that team. He was a junior. He wasn't Mike Pedoni's class, but he was a junior, went on to play at UNH. So he and Mike went at each other in the old Yankee conference as they battled BU and UNH. But they were teammates in high school. They had a good team, won a Super Bowl.
Let's see if we can get this lefty punter, Grzeski, into one here. You know, it's the Belichick mode over there on Shepherd Hill. The lefty punter, the spin angle on it. Let's see if Pedoni can figure it out back there. He's the man back deep to receive.
And another, talk about son of a coach, that's Mike Pedoni's son, Zach, who has grown up around football and was a young kid when Mike was on the staff at Holy Cross for years, the offensive coordinator. Did a great job at Holy Cross and has done a phenomenal job coaching here at St. John's. Chris Moriarty, when he was the head coach at Burncoat, won a couple Super Bowl titles with the Patriots. And He's got this team and this offense cranking up right now.
What's the line like at the rib truck, you think?
It's got to be long.
Do you think you can make the run at halftime?
I don't know. Joe Pascalis went here. Maybe he could pull rank and say,
Joe,
hey, I'm an alum.
Joe, I think, has already hit the rib truck.
Joe might be able to pull alumni privileges.
Joe's already pulled some alumni privileges we're not going to mention in the pregame.
Coleman Drugach on the reception. Drugach on the sideline. First down and more across midfield and into Shepherd Hill territory. No flies on Joe.
Oh, no, flags are flying here late.
They'll get a little chippy, too. I mean, this is a physical game and a physical sport, and you got a lot of pride on both sides.
St. John's doesn't even have to snap it if they don't want to here. We'll see what they do.
We have 2 fouls
Shepherd Hill
on the
gets
play.
the ball to start.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense.
Freddie still doesn't have the mic.
We have a
working.
dead ball, personal foul.
The only
on the
blemish
offense.
on Freddie tonight is the mic.
We have a first down.
Yeah. Offsetting personal foul penalties.
Freddie's taken the mic home, I think, at one point. He knows that thing's on somewhere.
They're going to snap it. Bachelia fires, complete. And Brunel gets inside the 30 to the 26-yard line, and they're going to call a timeout and take one crack at the end zone.
Yep, going for the jugular.
Yep.
I mean, we might see some numbers we haven't seen, or you don't see a lot of.
Well, you know,
in the second half.
You're right. And Steve Bachelia threw for over 400 yards a week ago, and Drew Smiley called him up and said, "That's good, but it's not the record. I still got you beat."
Oh, Smiley called
him?
He
did. Smiley called him, and Chris Moriarty was talking about that down on the field today before the game. Drew Smiley called him. He said, "It's good, but it's number 2. It's not number 1. I still got you." So Smiley's at the Naval Academy. Great lacrosse player for the Naval Academy in Annapolis.
It's fantastic. The alums remember for sure. And I was at Boston College in the preseason, and they got a couple Shepherd Hill guys there in the Lindstroms, and they got Davon Jones. And Davon is still talking about how Shepherd Hill says they beat him in a preseason scrimmage. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. And then they're going at the Doherty guy, Isaac Yadam, and they're still chatting about it. So Davon's gonna know this score happened, and he's probably, if you were smart, you'd go at Alec because he's a freshman. Chris is a beast.
Yes.
But he's probably going to let those guys know.
100%.
He's going to let them know what happened at Pioneer Field if this holds up.
There'll be a lot of chirping. 12 seconds remaining in the first half. Bachelia fires. Drugach is going to be run out of bounds. Stops the clock with 6 seconds to play. UNH, one of those schools that's been courting Coleman Drugach. Of course, they got Neil O'Connor up there, another former standout here in Central Mass, and Drugach would certainly fit well with the Wildcats.
They're going to kick here. They're going to let
Slapshot
try a, what's that, a 35-yarder it looks like.
Wow. Palermo's going to be playing for Mike Mead on the ice.
And this is situational stuff. If you ever have to get into this situation, try a field goal. I mean, certainly they don't need to score, but this is just to try to get a little bit out of it here.
Palermo's kick, the flag comes down, the kick has got the leg, and it's good. But there is a flag. We'll see what this is here. 35-yard field goal is a good field goal for anyone in high school. That's a good boot. Offside against the Rams. I think they'll take the points. Yeah, they will. Why not?
And the clock has expired at halftime.
Nick Palermo with a 35-yard field goal.
And again, why are you kicking the field goal up that much? Try, get into the situation. You might be in a situation where this happens. Kick the field goal, get yourself in position, and try to execute. Good stuff.
Get some confidence. Your junior kicker, 35 yards out. It's 50-8. St. John's at the half.
Hi, I'm Mike Demers, General Sales Manager here at Bertera Nissan in Auburn. We'll give you the best price and leave you happy every single time.
Our local team is ready to provide you with an unparalleled customer experience.
The 2017 Nissan Rogue, no money down, $19,783. The Nissan Rogue Sport, no money down, $21,500.
I want to invite you to come down and experience the #1 Nissan dealership for sales, service, and parts in Central New England.
Bertera Nissan, Route 20, Auburn, Massachusetts.
Let's be honest. You don't see Grandma nearly enough. Which means the dead car battery you've spent the morning dealing with has robbed her of precious grandkid time. It's unfortunate, sure, but it's not like she's gonna write you out of her will or anything. Right? When you need to be there, you need an Interstate. The car battery auto techs prefer.
Interstate All Battery Center. Come by 139 Washington Street in Auburn.
Sullivan Group is an insurance and risk management services firm based in Worcester for over 60 years.
Our company values are family values.
Committed to our clients and finding them the best solutions.
Committed to being independent.
Committed to our community.
We live here, we work here, we volunteer here.
The Sullivan Insurance Group.
Committed to excellence.
We're proud to lead with high school sports stories because we know that's important to our viewers, that's important to our communities. I think it's incredibly unique because you just don't see this amount of coverage other places. We can do 5 and 6 minutes at 10 o'clock, whereas other stations might do 2.5 minutes, and of that, 30 seconds is on high school sports.
It's very easy to be enthusiastic watching these guys play, whether it's high school football or field hockey or lacrosse.
When you see somebody make an outstanding play, you're kind of fired up about that. I come back and I'm like, Kev, I couldn't believe this play I saw in this game.
To see and to kind of be able to capture some of those magic moments when you're there to witness history, that's really cool. We're out there every day shooting the games ourselves and coming back and editing it and writing it ourselves.
You get a certain insight that you don't get if you're, say, in a press box.
We never forget the players that come from Central Mass. Those that are lucky enough to play professional sports, we follow them in the pros.
We never forget those guys coming from Central Mass.
I've had people come up and say to me that, you know, we still watch and we're still fans because they can watch on TV.
Has it brought fans to the game? Has it impacted local sports? I hope so. Coaches tell us it has. Certainly our goal is just to cover the game and to really highlight the positive of high school and local college sports.
And we're enjoying what we do, and that I hope that comes across. There's no other place I'd rather be, and there's no other job I'd rather do.
Looking for a local lender you can trust? Come to Milford Federal. Our great rates, low closing costs, and personalized customer service have made us your family financial center for over 130 years. Apply online or visit us at one of our branches today.
All right, so it's 50-8 St. John's, and they have been doing it by air and by land.
Yeah, Diso running. And Buchalia through the air. The guys up front blocking. The receivers blocking. And they just jumped on Shepherd Hill early on this one. Hunter Gorgas is in the mix. And the Pioneers, again, they got that train going really early.
Yep.
And it just kept coming. And the accuracy and the strength of arm from Buchalia to Josh Shrestha there. And, man, he's good. He's back. He's a guy they get back that helps them with a little more dynamic on their offense. And I mean, did you need more dynamic stuff on your offense? They got it.
Gives opposing teams something else to worry about. We're at the half. St. John's leads Shepherd Hill 50-8.
Hockey is back. Pro hockey has returned to Worcester. Hit the ice with your Worcester Railers. Mini plans and group tickets are on sale now. Call 508-365-1750 and visit railershc.com. Hockey is back. Worcester! Become a member today for Off the Rails excitement.
Doors. Every door is different. Every door unique. And each one tells a story. Open a door at Unibank and you'll find a unique place. A bank where we listen to you and find answers. All to help you write your unique success story. Welcome to the new Unibank. Please, after you. Unibank. Bank different. Bank unique. Member FDIC. Member DIF. Equal housing lender.
I'm District Attorney Joe Worley, and I'm proud to partner with Charter Communications with our pledge to help raise awareness that bullying should not be tolerated. From local school students, here is our message.
Delete cyberbullying. Don't write it, don't forward it. Think twice what you type.
We need to foster safe environments for students in their schools and their communities. Join the anti-bully crusade, take a stand to lend a hand, don't be a bully.
Presented by the law offices of Joseph J. Corriglia.
Welcome back, everyone. Next Saturday, we will be at Worcester State University. The Lancers taking on UMass Dartmouth. All of our coverage begins at 7 p.m. Pioneer Fest here this afternoon at St. John's. They've got the huge tent there with a bunch of tables under there, food trucks. They've got bouncy houses out behind the scoreboard. If you squint, you can see them.
Yep.
But they are there, trust us. They got the food trucks, they got the bouncy houses, carnival-like atmosphere here.
Is it called a bouncy house or just a bounce house?
I always call them bouncy houses,
Okay.
but they're probably bounce houses.
All right, well, there's Mick Sullivan, and, you know, he just led his group on a touchdown drive late in the second quarter to get Shepherd Hill on the board. He's going to have the first shot at it here in the third quarter to, again, just try to get a little momentum. You're not going to score 42 points on one drive. You're not going to probably score 42 points in this half against a team like St. John's, but can you get some momentum going for the next week?
No, you're right, but you're just trying to send a message. Big stick
Man.
on the kickoff, as that's Patrick Capper, a senior linebacker, and that's what we were talking about. When you have a senior class like St. John's does, 26 seniors this year. Last year they only had 5 or 6. You got guys like Capper on the special teams flying down there making tackles, and so now your other guys get a break. It may not seem like a lot. It makes a difference in a game when you can put guys, seniors, guys that you trust on kickoff team and not lose anything, have great kick coverage, and your other guys can get a break. That's another big stick coming from the safety position.
Yeah, but a nice
They're
run.
lowering their headgear. Owen Ryan.
Nice run from John Foley before that. The junior, he's a little dude, but he can move.
Owen Ryan's one of those seniors. Came in there and stuck his nose in. He's a physical player.
Foley is a 5'3". He's also a hockey player, 5'3" hockey player. Runner for Shepherd Hill. They're going to get a first down, and now in the first down play, they're moving ahead.
The chains were still moving. The chains were still moving, and they were running. They got the first down. Now it's second down, and call it 7. They're going with that no-huddle, hurry-up offense, the double wing style, though. Yeah, that's a nice job there, running behind his blocking. Foley again. Just gets low. He's hard to see. And he's getting a good push up front from his O-line.
Quick timeout, I think, from St. John's. Alec Ambrosia giving a good push up front. That offensive line group for Shepherd Hill on the last play. Here's Foley's. That 5'3" hockey player, tough kid. And, you know, he can get in there and hide behind a few guys, and that's always been a weapon. Remember a guy by the name of the Q over there at Holy Name, Kieran Wright.
Oh, yeah.
He could sneak in behind the line.
Right.
He's having a huge year at Framingham State right now.
Yeah,
playing
phenomenal.
at the next level. But like he made a living off of kind of sneaking around behind the big lineman and then taking off with his speed.
Darting through a seam, and before you know it, he was past you. 3rd and short, and this one's going to be close. I think he's a little short. We'll see where they spot it.
Yeah,
Good run, though, by Kobe Jean-Guillaume.
Forward progress will make it close, but then the Pioneers surge back. They're actually going to give him the first down. It's Kobe Jean-Guillaume. And again, Cam Murphy led the way, but you know Dom Imperato and company got in there as well.
Here's Cooper. Cooper running through tackles. He picks up 9 yards on first down. So this Shepherd Hill offense has come out with a lot of life here in the second half. A lot of pride and a lot of fight with this group. Now they're going to throw the ball, and it's Cooper's out there, complete. Foot race to the end zone. Cooper's inside the 10, the 5. Cooper for the touchdown. Mick Sullivan to Nathaniel Cooper for the touchdown. An impressive first drive of the second half for Shepherd Hill.
Tell you, 50% of his passes go for touchdowns, and Sullivan gets another one. That's his 6th touchdown pass of the year, and Cooper catches his first and goes in. Nice drive, nice little drive for Shepherd Hill.
Nice play call, too, because you're run. Everything's that double wing tight. You're running between the tackles. All of a sudden, they come out with the play action. Maybe the linebackers and safeties, everyone's coming a couple steps forward on the snap. And the 2-point conversion in there. And a nice job by the offensive line. Gabe Dos Santos in for the 2. The O-line creating that big hole. Shepherd Hill's offense moving with a lot of rhythm right now.
Here's a look. Good poise from Sullivan in there, and he hits a strike to Cooper, and Cooper's able just to run away from the defender. You know, and he's moving quickly. He doesn't look like he's in another gear. He's got that next level ability, that athleticism, where he is flying, and he doesn't even look like he's putting a lot of effort into it. He's just kind of cruising away. Good stuff. He's going to be a good player. You're going to talk about. You're going to hear about him.
Just a sophomore.
Hearing about him now in the last 2 weeks. Last week was his first real test on offense. He had to come in and carry the load late in the game against Wachusett. It was his first touches offensively of the year, and he'll be a much more featured back going forward. But he's always been a regular on defense.
Ryan Dugan, former quarterback himself at Shepherd Hill. High bounce. Scooped up. And Armani Jones. Armani Jones is just a junior. He returns that one across the 40-yard line, and good field position for St. John's.
Yeah, a different number back there, and that one got all the way back to the last level, and Armani Jones made the most of his opportunity.
Steve Bachalia, the senior quarterback. He's got 20 touchdown passes this season. 50-16 game now. Bachalia hands it off to Diso on first down. Diso following those hogs up front. Picks up 4.
Again, that group up front, Ian Shade and guys pushing the piles up there. Good first down gain for St. John's.
John Andrioli talked about the great strength and conditioning efforts in the offseason for this team. The best that he's had. Here's Pedoni. Pedoni's got a first down across midfield. But it shows when you have guys, you know, it's one thing to have a big frame, but if you're not strong and you're not in condition, you're going to wear down. You might get a push for a couple plays, but you're not going to get any sustained push. These guys get that up front. These are some strong dudes.
Big frame, but if you're not conditioned, you're in trouble. I know it. I know what you're talking about.
You try to park close to the field.
You know what? Try to get some extra steps in, Kev.
Bachalia fires a dart complete to Brunel. Brunel steps out of a tackle. Brunel lowers his shoulder. He's got a first down.
You know, and again, you're up 50-16, and you're competing for every yard. And
yep.
There's still all that fire and great stuff that goes with football, and Pioneers are competing for every inch, and so is Shepherd Hill. This is a battle for the second half, you get the sense right now.
Here's Bachalia looking right. Fires over the middle, complete for the touchdown. And it's Shea Gallo-Colleague, a junior wide receiver. And there is just another weapon.
Yeah, and what a ball. He's got to get it over some Shepherd Hill defenders that are in between he and his receiver, and Bachalia delivers it. Shea does a nice job. Haul it in and finish the play.
It's a perfect strike. He may be my favorite receiver on the team just because of his first name.
There you go.
He's no relation, but I like it. I like it. And the point after is up and through, and now even a new kicker's in there. Cameron Tebow.
I mean, the Swickle guys already know you're wearing like St. John's t-shirt underneath
That's what Northbridge.
Your outfit
The
here.
Northbridge guys would have you believe that.
What a ball.
John DeMasian and Archie.
He's got to get it over a linebacker and between two safeties. And he looks downfield, steps into it, and just drills it in.
Yeah, that's
to
great.
Gallo, and he does the rest. You know, you finish the play. You make the catch, and then you head upfield right away. He didn't have far to go, but he made sure he got into the end zone.
That's a perfect ball. He can make every throw. When you look at Steve Pachalia, he makes every throw. You know, like you said, he's firing a dart there, getting it over the linebackers and under the safeties. He can throw the deep timing ball when you got man coverage. He can throw that strike to the flat where you got to really put some zip on it. He can put touch on the ball when he needs to put touch. That's another thing too, is he throws such a catchable ball. I mean, you can have guys that have the arm of John Elway. If you don't throw a catchable ball, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna complete passes. He throws a real catchable ball. Good coverage too. Good kick coverage from St. John's. Oh, Palermo just got a big stick at the end of that one. I'm telling you.
Let me ask you something. Going back to your last comment, at what year do you think, when you start mentioning John Elway, is anyone going to have any clue what you're talking about?
That's for the coaching
Oh, you mean the
staff
general
only.
manager of the Broncos?
That's a
and that's
good
only
point.
if you're really into it.
That's a good point. That's the coaching staffs on both teams will be like, okay, yeah, I get that. John Elway, the Elway cross. They used
I mean,
to
it's an
call it.
honest question.
But it's true.
It's
I
an
don't
honest
know.
question. I mean, at what point do people not know who John Elway is?
Who's it? See, I know so little about the NFL right now. I don't. Who's a good strong-armed quarterback in the NFL? The Elway cross they used to talk about. That Elway would drill it right in.
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, Aaron
drills
Rodgers.
the football.
But Elway had to learn. That was the whole knock on him. Elway had to learn to throw a catchable ball. You can't just try to throw it through your receivers.
At
80s
some
football.
point, Dan Marino, John
80s,
Elway,
early 90s football.
Tony Eason, you know.
That's great. Our producer director Sean Grady bringing up Dan Pastorini. He was the founder of the flak jacket. Dan Pastorini for the Houston Oilers.
See, I'm in trouble when you mention Dan Pastorini. I don't go back as far as you and Sean.
Yeah, he wore the flak jacket, the rib pads, and his whole flak jacket because he used to just get crushed.
They went for it on fourth down and did not get it, and the ball's in St. John's hands. Keegan was in the backfield with the initial hit to blow things up a little bit. And let's see, I mean,
Joe
yeah,
Katinas
they're
was
gonna,
one of the guys in
they're
there.
gonna send it the other way. Pioneer football. Warren Moon is where I go back to
That's
the
good.
Houston Oilers.
That's very good.
Bubby Brister, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I remember Bubby Brister. That's my era. Present day NFL, I got
You're
nothing
not
for
there.
you.
You're not, yeah.
No, I got nothing for you. Let's see, we got some new guys in there.
New quarterback.
New quarterback for St. John's.
Is the is
Shea.
It's the touchdown catch.
Yep. Shea Gallo, Khalid hands it off. Oh, nice run, spinning through tackles. Fallon. So you got the sophomore Fallon in there.
Flag on the far
Junior
side.
Shea.
How about that? You catch a touchdown pass, and then you're in there at quarterback on the next series.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
LD.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's at the St. John's 45 after the penalty. Moves him back 10 yards for the hold.
First and 20.
Shea's in the shotgun, Shea Gallo. He's going to run it himself. Good fake. Gallo gets the corner, and Gallo's running hard, and he picks up the 10 that they lost with the penalty and then some.
Yeah, Shea Gallo Khalid. He really moves. He runs hard. Squares the shoulders. Here he comes. Chase down at the end there, but good bit of running.
So the clock running now with 5 minutes, under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Flag.
57-16 St. John's. Flag stops the clock at 4:53.
Record that number, another one.
We've talked a lot about the
unsportsmanlike, number
coaching
one.
staff on St. John's, and Scott Holland, one of the coaches over there on that Shepherd Hill sideline, former standout at Worcester State. We're going to be at Worcester State next week. Scotty Holland was a phenomenal linebacker. He was the long snapper. Got a tryout with the Giants as a long snapper. He was great. Then he coached the Bartlett. He played at Bartlett. Then he coached the Bartlett high school football team for a while. Owns a gym down in that area. Does a lot of the strength and conditioning for this Shepherd Hill team, and he's done a phenomenal job with these Rams. Shea Gallo-Kalieg is the quarterback, hands it off. Shepherd Hill front seven doing a nice job to stuff the run. Anthony Orienti, one of the guys in on the tackle.
Yeah, Nico Karamanakis in there as well. They like him. He's a sophomore. He's got a good size already as a sophomore, good frame. His brother Costa's the tall guy, and Nico is more of the fire hydrant in there, just plugging things up.
Oh, great job by Shea Gallo ran right by the penetration. The defensive tackle came in unblocked, and Shea just ran right by him. He's quick. He is a quick runner. Look at this.
Nice little move. You said he caught that defensive end coming, and good vision downfield. The hurry up on 4th down. He's going to be stopped in the backfield, though.
That's good hard charge, and Orienti was there for Shepherd Hill along with Orlando Loggins.
Kunkel as well, Caden Kunkel. It's a big name down in South County, Webster area. Kunkel gets in there, and Shepherd Hill gets a stop.
Good poke.
They got a lot of Bartlett. They got a lot of green over there on the. Bartlett and Shepherd Hill used to be pretty good rivals.
You know what though? They got a little red too with Josh Marino, the sophomore right tackle. The Marino family, his grandfather was a longtime coach at Southbridge. His uncle Vinny Marino coached at Southbridge, actually coached at Holy Cross with Mike Pedoni. Vinny's still coaching in the college ranks, but a lot of that, the Marino family is a big name, the Marino name down in Southbridge football lore. I know that the folks in Southbridge and Bartlett will watch to see what you're wearing around Thanksgiving, and they'll let you know if you're wearing a lot of red or wearing a lot of green.
It's true.
They let you know.
I usually, there was time I was wearing a lot of green, and then I was wearing a lot of red.
I know. I think each side
oh, the ball's out.
Yeah, each side accuses you of going for the other team. St. John says they have it, and they do. Fred King confirms it. They caused a fumble and recover it. It's Patrick Capper, the senior linebacker who recovers for the Pioneers.
Now it's a tough break for Shepherd Hill's defense makes a stop, and then they just can't execute the double handoff. And it's another turnover, and St. John's has made them all hurt.
Liam Doran caused the fumble, the jarring hit. One thing that John Andrioli was talking about early in the season is he wanted his teams to close games out. Against Catholic Memorial, particularly against that Springfield Central team. They got up big in the game. Here's Fallon. Fallon takes a big stick. But they got up big in the first half, and he felt in the second half they let down. They didn't close it out. That's what he wants his team to close games out.
Now Hunter Dusimo with a good pop there at the end for Shepherd Hill. This game moving a little bit more of the running clock here in the second half, as a lot of points were scored in the first half. Look at the toughness here. He's breaking tackles.
Shea's going to go into the end zone. Shea Gallo-Kalieg going in for 6. His second touchdown of the afternoon. The first one was on a reception, and this one is on a run.
Don't fix it. Leave the shoulder pad hanging out there. You made the big play. Took some hits. Jay, look, they got like empanadas down there. Look at this. We got to get over to Pioneer Fest.
We do.
You think Sean will miss me in the fourth quarter?
Is Boldy with us?
I don't know. If Boldy was smart, he'd go get some.
We'd send Boldy, maybe.
I think they have an empanada truck.
Yeah,
or
they
something.
do. I'm seeing them right like you are, right in front of us
They
here.
look fantastic.
Wow, that is.
Start throwing some of your money around
That's
down in the
something-
crowd and see if they can.
something
People will
else.
go get you something, Shay.
Make it rain. Make it rain from our broadcast.
Throw your ones out there, Kev.
That's great.
High school football on Charter TV3 brought to you by the Sullivan Group. They celebrated 60 years this week. Central Mass Safety Council, Nichols College, Bertera Nissan of Auburn, Holy Cross Athletics, Interstate Batteries, Milford Federal, the Worcester Railers Hockey Club, home opener tonight, and Poochie's.
Austin, the Bears will attempt the extra point calling Diesel holding.
St. John's will attempt the point after.
Flag on the play.
They were offsides, Shepherd Hill, so that kick is going to be good.
Cam Tebow, the sophomore, puts it up and through. And there is the quarterback, Shea Gallo colleague.
He holds the ball, tucks it inside the defensive end, breaks 2 tackles. He scored a touchdown receiving on the last series, and he runs this one in from the quarterback position. Shea Gallo colleague. Hard charger. Having a nice game here. In relief of Steve Buchalia. That
And
line's
again,
still doing their job up front.
He's a junior, and so he's competing against the starters all week long. You know, whether it's in the scout offense, whether he's running at quarterback or he's running at wide receiver, he's competing against that first team. And so here you get a reward here. You're up big, you get to play, and you produce, and he is producing. Cooper is back deep for Shepherd Hill. Gabe Dos Santos has it.
It's got to be tough. You know, you're returning a kick, it's a middle return, and you look up and there's a sea of red coming your way. Dos Santos. Looks like he might have tweaked a hamstring or something. Hopefully it's just a little cramp or something as he comes off.
.141 to play here in the third quarter. This one has been all St. John's from the start. 64-16 Pioneers, and flags will stop this one before it starts. Movement on the offense.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards in the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Penalty first and 15.
Well, second and third quarter, a couple of things, you know, for Shepherd Hill to look at. They were able to move a couple of possessions. Their defense made a stop with that first team offense still out there.
Here's Sullivan bursting through and getting into the secondary, and brought down short of the first down. About 3 yards shy of the first down.
You know, and they'll keep their first team offense out there for a little bit to see if they can get some these execution things worked out. Oh, there's John Guillaume.
And here he goes, first down and more across midfield and into St. John's territory. The young guns stepping up here for the Rams.
Enchanté. Jean Guillaume to the next level. Good speed, and you know, maybe he's your hot running back right now. There's a timeout on the field.
I think they're saying that's the end of the third quarter.
There's a minute on the clock now. There's an end of the quarter.
End of the third quarter. It is 64-16. St. John's in front. When we come back, fourth quarter, and Shepherd Hill's got the ball.
Bay State Savings Bank brings you Kasasa. What's Kasasa? It's a catchy word for earning cash that just might make you want to dance. Get paid for doing simple things you do anyway. That's free Casasa checking.
Ask for Casasa by name at Bay State Savings Bank, proud sponsor of the Friday Night Football Frenzy.
Local news from Central Massachusetts for Central Massachusetts.
A water main break in Shrewsbury causing some minor flooding. The national gas price average has hit the highest pump price of the year. Well, firefighters battling flames at a three-decker in Worcester. A Webster man is arrested after Worcester police say he assaulted one of their officers.
Reporters in the field. And an in-depth local forecast. Worcester News tonight on Charter TV3.
First play of the fourth quarter, it is Orienti, the fullback, stacked up at the line of scrimmage after a no gain, maybe a half yard. Orienti's down on the turf right now. Anthony Orienti, the sophomore, is down. I hope it's just a cramp.
Yeah, it looks like it could be the way he's trying to stretch it out. Those hurt.
Yeah.
Those
Ryan
hurt.
Dugan coming over with his quarterback Mick Sullivan to check on Orienti.
Dugan's got the nice Titleist hat. He's wearing the Shepherd Hill Titleist hat for the golf team.
You got to get yourself one of
Yeah,
those.
that's a nice hat.
That is sharp.
It's a sharp hat.
Well, and as he said to us, you know, during the week and today, you know, the way things are going, regardless of what happens today, we're probably going to have to meet again in the playoffs. So we'll play our game today and we'll learn from it and see what we have to do to adjust if we play them again and face them again in the playoffs, but chances are we will.
Yeah, right now in that very competitive Division III, St. John's, Shepherd Hill, Shrewsbury, Wachusett, and Doherty are competing for the 4 spots. Essentially, mathematically.
Yep.
Second and 10.
And you know, some coaches know where they are mathematically, some coaches don't. Some
Right.
coaches pay more attention to that than others, but some coaches told me at the beginning of the year they didn't even know what division they were in. I don't know how much I believe them, but
some of them
they
I
say
would
it.
believe it. Some of them I actually would believe it. And it's just, we'll just play, and it doesn't matter what division we're in. Someone will tell me at the end of the year if we're in the playoffs or not. Most of them, though, they know where they're at, and even mathematically what's going on, because if it's not their strong point, someone on the staff is figuring
Mathematically,
that out.
too, if you lose to St. John's, it doesn't necessarily hurt you.
Right.
Because of all the wins that they contribute to your schedule.
Sullivan hands it off, straight sweep. Sean Guillaume. Oh, Dos Santos.
Touchdown.
And he's got it. He's in for 6. Gabe Dos Santos, the sophomore running back, but a flag is down behind the line of scrimmage. Would indicate it's coming back, and it is. A holding penalty on the Rams.
Now the Hills got their first group in for the most part, and there's a young group for St. John's, and Dos Santos is a young guy. So, I mean, the first group is a young group still for Shepherd Hill, but Dos Santos showed his speed to the outside, but Rams got a hold in the interior somewhere.
Spot foul, yes. Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the infraction. Repeat the down.
So it'll mark the Rams backwards, 10 yards.
Guessing nobody got to Freddie about his mic.
No, me too.
I don't think anyone's even listening to us.
I think it's you and I are doing this.
Are we still? Are we
family and friends, that's it. I think they've put us on mute in the truck. You know? Pioneer Fest still out there? Yeah, the trucks are still out there.
Yeah, man.
Bounce houses. I don't know if kids are in the bounce houses anymore. The bouncy houses, is that called?
See, now you've changed it.
I call it the bouncy houses. Sullivan hands it off. Joe Orienti. Orienti's close to a first down.
Certainly getting the audio of the bounce house in the truck and the exhaust.
Here's Orienti again, Joe Orienti, the older of the 2 Orienti brothers. He's got a first down. It'll be a first down for the Rams. Fourth quarter, clock continuing to move. as we are under 8 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Shepherd Hill looking to punch it in again. Sullivan, straight quarterback run, lowers his head and his shoulder pads and plows forward as he gets down to the 20-yard line. Inside the 20.
A lot of sophomores in there for St. John's right now.
They hand it off. Jean-Guillaume, he's close to a first down. It looks like, it depends on which judge. The near judge doesn't look like he has it. From the far side, it does look like he has it, where that far side judge would have it.
Number 77 for St. John's, Joshua Aarons. He's right in the middle. He's been around the play the last two. He's a sophomore. Out of the JV roster in there now.
And it's a big time. If you're a sophomore and you're getting that varsity experience, and especially at home, you get into a game at home, Pioneer Fest, big crowd on hand. As a sophomore, you feel like you're 10 feet tall and bulletproof. In there playing with the big boys. I fumbled my snap. My first varsity snap as a sophomore. Went in and fumbled it and dove on it. I remember on films, Coach Leary. All right, good recovery, but you got to get the snap. Shot of the parking lot there. Here's Jean-Guillaume, and he's close to the end zone. Close. He's got a first down, it looks like. So it'll be first and goal for Shepherd Hill, just outside the end zone now. A late call, they got it in. Jean-Guillaume getting it into the end zone. Jean-Guillaume gets it in. Now Mick Sullivan coming into that huddle. He'll give him the play for the two-point conversion. He's got Cody Adams and Joe Orienti. Someone moved. Joe Orienti's he's in, but again, the flag's in the backfield, so it's probably going to come back. No, it's against the defense. The defense jumped, so the two-point conversion will count.
Well, it's a good drive, and you know, again, they're doing it against the JV group for St. John's, but you still have to execute, and they're able to punch it in. Kobe Jean-Guillaume riding the wave in to the end zone. There's Orlando Loggins, number 7, big guy, and you know, there'll be better weeks for Shepherd Hill ahead. And like you said, they'll take a look at this film, and they'll look at it probably again if they play again. They've got Leominster next week, and Leominster is a team that hasn't won a game yet. And the season perhaps, well, is lost for Leominster right now, but it's still Leominster.
Right.
And they're still big.
And they're still dangerous.
They're
still good.
They've been in a lot of games this year, and the final score hasn't reflected how some of them have been close.
No, you're right about that. Good coverage by Shepherd Hill, but it's going to be good field position after the squib kick. St. John's will take over from their own 40.
So Shepherd Hill will have to kind of put this one away and go out and need to beat Leominster to keep their standing and start to look ahead.
No, and that's what you do. You focus. Once this game's over, your focus is squarely on Leominster. The coaches can break the film down and look at, okay, if we do meet them again in the playoffs, what do we have to change? You know, what do we have to adjust to here, and what do we have to work on? But for now, for the players, it's got to be all about Leominster. Look at Shea. Shake and bake on the outside. Flag comes down.
Well, they did a nice job, Shepherd Hill, that time on the outside. The cornerback took the block on the back.
On the offense. 10
Xavier
yards in the previous spot.
He
Repeat first down.
held his ground, and then he drew the penalty. They got hand-cut French fries. Hand-cut French fries coming in from Pioneer Fest.
Oh boy,
that guy's got.
That's a lot of good stuff.
Pulled pork sandwich and hand-cut French fries.
Fallon, flag comes down again. Fallon gets to the outside. Fallon's across midfield, and Fallon's finally pushed out of bounds inside the Shepherd Hill 40. But again, this one may come back.
Flag on the play.
Block in the back.
Yeah, there have been
on the
a
offense,
fair amount of
10 yards from the
today.
spot of the infraction. Repeat
There
first
is
down.
some aggression in the booth right now against some of our flying friends, the Bees. Don Brown says, solve all your problems through aggression, and that's what's going on. Some aggression down there.
You know what's going on is Matt Morway's down there and Pete, and they're where we normally are in the booth, and we normally get a lot more bees. We got one early on, but he has been being attacked by bees.
Look at this one's going to go down there.
They come down, they visit us, and then they head his way. But that's normally where we are. That's normally where we sit up in the booth, and we normally have that. That fight.
Yeah,
today, not so much.
No, and he's got one here that's a couple windows down. See, Matt thinks he's won the fight right now, but if this guy turns around and gets into his grill. Shea Gallo hands it off. Fallon spins through a couple tackles, just pumping those knees forward, driving forward. And a flag comes in late. A late hit this will be. Again, you got guys though that are all fighting to be noticed here. You know, you got kids that are getting their first taste of varsity games, second taste, and they want to open some eyes on the coaching staff as well. They're battling right to the whistle.
Freddie is going to be tired today. He's going to need a nap.
Dead ball, personal foul. On the offense, 15-yard penalty, second down.
Freddie's going to need a nap. He's going to need he's been busy today.
Yeah, you're right.
We haven't heard him because his mic has been off, but
he chose not to participate in flipping the mic on. Under 5 minutes to play in this game. St. John's with the ball and a big lead. Trips to the near side. Shea's going to run it. And a good pickup by Shea Gallo colleague. Gets forward. Clock continuing to roll down here.
Just got a thumbs up from the guy with the empanadas down there. They look really good.
They too look phenomenal.
I wonder if it's that truck that has like the Caribbean decor on.
Yeah, my guess is yes on that. I don't know what the other one says. The black.
That's
one
over
says.
to our right of the broadcast position. Yeah, man, they looked really good.
They did look great. I think it is. I think it is that Caribbean truck.
I ate a Greek yogurt for breakfast. That was not as good as what the empanadas looked like. I'll tell you right now.
There's Shea Gallo's going to pull it down. Makes a man miss and is brought down at the 36-yard line. Pretty good pickup, though. It's a 7-yard pickup.
Going to see the punting unit for the first time today for St. John's.
St. John's can run the clock down around 3 minutes before they punt this one away.
First look at Connor Hickey. Get his name out there. It's first time he's been out there to punt.
Connor Hickey, the junior.
Got to make the most out of the opportunity here.
Hickey's looking over at the sideline. They like the way he does things. He can flip the field. And they took a timeout right before the play clock expired, but smart move. They run it down under 3 minutes, and then Connor Hickey will come over, and Hickey will come back. And
well, they're playing situational stuff right now.
There's an obsession with the bees going on here.
It is.
It is a yellow jacket. It is not one of the honeybees. I know that we've had some problems with the.
No, it's okay to get rid of the yellow jackets.
Local beekeepers not happy with the honeybee population. A high snap over the head of Connor Hickey. Hickey goes back, retreats, gets it, and gets off a punt. Beautiful job by Connor Hickey to go back, get that ball, and get the punt off, and he gets it across midfield. Outstanding poise from the junior.
Yeah. Connor Hickey, high snap, goes back and gets it. The Hill didn't have a block set up. They were set up to return, so they were coming, but it's just the big guys in there. That gave Hickey a little more time.
So Shepherd Hill has it now, and they flip it to Orienti. Joe Orienti picks up 2. We are under 2.5 minutes to play. And let's see. Freddie King giving the 2-minute warning. Freddie King, the official here, giving the 2-minute warning. So we got 2 minutes remaining in this game.
Second and 8.
Second down and 8 for Shepherd Hill. Again, academic right here, but you're just looking for momentum and looking to continue with what you do. If you're Shepherd Hill, if you're St. John's, you're looking at some of those young guys, those JV guys that are in there now that are battling. You like to see that fight because they're going up against a first string varsity team, and they're battling. I like it. You got to like to see the fight in those young kids.
If you can give up 1 score in a quarter, and you're the JV team against the varsity, that's a good effort.
Yeah, it is.
And listen, this just in, St. John's is really good,
oh, they're
and they've passed another test, and they'll have another one next week, and another one the following week, and then that's the way they just approach it. I mean, they're excellent, and but they don't get caught up in being excellent. They again, they compete and they work. And their main goal is, if they win the last game of the year at Gillette Stadium or wherever the championship game is, that's the only thing they really care about. Win that last game.
You know what, too? They're used to being, each and every week, everyone's Super Bowl. It's not like they get up anymore for one team or the other. You know, you got Wachusett, one of a great rivalry. The next week it's Shrewsbury, maybe a bigger rivalry. I mean, you know, it's just each week it's a rivalry game. It's a huge game, and so they just, for them, it's business as usual. You know, Catholic Memorial gets up big for them. Springfield Central gets up big for them.
Nice job by Marnie Jones back there, breaking up the pass. A good battle with Dos Santos, and now Mick Sullivan is coming off. A little dinged up there. You don't want him out of the game. Quarterback's so important in this double wing offense. You need someone who can get those backs the football and block and run. And you know, it might seem like he's just handing off or pitching the ball, but I mean, he's got to locate the guys. It's a big part of the offense. That's it. That'll do it.
Even just the pivoting to get away from those pulling guards. Well, St. John's showing you why they are the #1 ranked team in Central Mass. The Pioneers winning it today, 64-24. Next week, we will be at the U, Worcester State University, as they take on UMass Dartmouth. For our producer-director, Sean Grady, Andy Lacombe, and our entire crew, I'm Kevin Shea. Thanks for watching, everyone. So long from Pioneer Field. St. John's remains unbeaten and #1 with a big victory here at home today.